So this is fast gear. Unlike L as Us, this one is going to be probably only 30 minutes because I had no idea I was on that. So this one is probably only going to be 30 minutes most. I want to split my time between 1 hour of that and 1 hour here, but because Hell is Us is very detailed with regards to everything, it was more than an hour, so hopefully I'm able to move a bit faster on this one. So let's see what's going on here. Volume control with regards to settings, good. Master volume, music volume, effects volume. Okay. Language. English. Can't change the language. I could scroll over master volume, but doesn't seem that I could change the language. I don't really need to because I'm English speaking. The garage. In the garage you have various different vehicles, and you could either go right and left, or you could use your left, your L3 or your R3 to move right and left. So far, based on everything, I only have 4 vehicles. 3 vehicles actually that I could use at the moment, and it tells you what they are, their speeds. Here, this one is called the Titan X. Its acceleration is average, speed is average, braking is poor, handling is poor, performance is good though. So how is the performance of the vehicle? Is good, handling is poor, performance is medium, performance is bad, even though braking is bad, because handling is also bad. So yeah, so this is the worst of the bunch. Acceleration is bad, acceleration is also kind of bad, acceleration is good, braking is weak, braking here is very good, is good, performance is medium, acceleration is medium. This could accelerate a lot, brings up a lot of speed, but its handling is poor on, I'd say, curves as well as braking, so it will swerve to left and right. So in this situation I might have to know how to control those curves and those edges well. It's like there's a huge gap in braking. So the one to go with would be the Phoenix SX or RSX or Titan X. So I would basically have to slow down a lot with this one. I don't know. Okay, so the game's intro menu, the main menu pops up here. You get to see your vehicles. Standard goes to most games that has to do with racing or combat racing or shooter racing. They show you the vehicle, they show you what's present on the vehicle, they show you the perks of the vehicle or the capabilities of the vehicle. I would say it's average at best. Nothing really special. So I'll give it a point for it being average with regards to its main menu screen. 1 point there, and another point for you being able to choose between what car you want, what car you don't want, and the perks that comes with it. Its settings is also average at best. It's not great. In fact, it's even subpar, I would say, because you have to go up and down here. Because its settings is quite weak, so I will have to minus a point for its settings. There's not much going on there because maybe it doesn't have much to go on to begin with when it comes to the settings. So that's minus a point. I give it a point for its main game, its main HUD, and then I minus a point, so I'm still at 5. The garage, with regards to the vehicles, the vehicles are pretty much average at best. Standard you find in most sports games. Who would you want to be? What you want to do? But I'll give it a point for that. So now I'm at a 5.1. And then you press the back button, which is the circle button if you use a PlayStation controller. And then, let's see here. Go to episodes. You get to choose where you want to race. Here you choose episode 1. You have to choose the Metro, Mayhem, and then everything is locked until then. So you only have one area to play in this demo, which is fine because it's just a demo. So the menu system in this racing game is poor because it doesn't give you anything. You have a settings where you have volume control, and you have your language, and you have manual gear, and that's it. So that's poor. Their menu system is poor. So that's a -1. But I give it a point for the fact that it has garage where you can switch to pick and choose what type of vehicle you want to drive depending on the perks of the vehicle or the attributes of the vehicle. So I give it a point for that. And I give it another point with regards to, or a half point with regards to its hub screen. Because it's average at best. There's nothing great about it. The use of colors and is synonymous to fast sport games, so light colors is good. So I give it another half point for that, but it's not great. It's just good. So now I'm at a 5.2. The sculpting of the vehicles is done quite well though. The design of how each vehicle looks, the vehicle model and vehicle sculpting is done well, and the decals on the vehicles are actually done well too. Looks like realistic cars. HUDs, HUD caps, windows, wheels. Very sculpted, quite good. So 5.3 was to the sculpting of the vehicle, and another point with regards to half a point with regards to decals on the side of the vehicle. It's not that complicated to put the decals on the side of something. So 5.34. The rollovers and the switching from settings to settings, I'll give it another point for that because that's pretty fast. Yeah, cell choosing is pretty fast. So yeah, 5.4 so far. So far so good. Nothing truly annoying other than the fact that the setting system is lacking with other features that should be present in the game for today's time, rather than something that feels like it's outdated. And it does feel like the settings. And then we'll see how the map looks. And from the map I'll be able to decide whether this is a good racing game. Because I'm going to look at the map design, where I'm racing. I'm going to look at the ring that I'm racing. I'm going to look at the locomotion of the vehicle. I'll look at the intro of showing the vehicle. The intro is average. Okay. So first things first. I cannot So first things first, there's nothing to indicate how to accelerate, how to decelerate, unless I missed it completely. There's no indication of acceleration and deceleration. It does have a preloader, so I'll give it half a point for that. Okay. There is damage on vehicles. The L2s for spinning. No, the L2 is for reversing. The R2 is for moving forward. R2 moves forward. No, yeah, R2 moves forward like you're shooting a gun. L2 moves reverse backwards, and the screen switch to moving backwards. So the perspective of the game switches backwards, and when you're driving, the perspective switch forwards. That's interesting. So yeah, 5.4, no, 5.5. Letting go of the R2 slows the vehicle down. Little flashes come from the back of the vehicle. The effects, it has an effect on it. I'm trying to figure out which is slowing down. Square switches your perspective. Let's see what this triangle does. Triangle seems to do nothing. Triangle does nothing. Let's see what X does. X slows you down, okay? X brakes. Yes, X brakes. Okay, so slowing down is letting go of the R2. Braking is X. Square just changed perspective. What does circle do? Okay, circle puts throttle to the gas. So throttle is circle. Throttle is circle. R2 is drive. Brakes is X. Got it. Now let's see what does the center D-pad do? The center D-pad does nothing. Okay. What does the up button do? Up button does nothing. Okay. Okay, so apparently, okay, that's going to be annoying. When I want to reverse the vehicle, it always changes perspective like this. So if I want to reverse to left or right, so that's bad. So I dock a point from it. So 5.4 back to 5.4. The pressing right puts you into first person mode, so you could drive in first person mode. But here's where it gets kind of dumb, because if you press it again, you now are in who drives like this? Who drives their vehicle like this? What would be the point of you driving like this? Unless you want to drive from an asphalt point of view. Maybe some people are into that, from the side of the vehicle. But then you can't see the curve here, the left or the right side, so you're just driving from a blind point. That's not really a good idea. That's something that if you want to see it. So maybe the switching to point of views, such as perspective view like this, only happens. Yeah, this is only for preferential things. So this is only for preferential people who want to look at something fancy. The only one that I'll say that's somewhat good is the perspective in the first person. But you cannot go back into your third person of your car. You cannot go back into third person of the car without cycling through these other ones. So that's kind of annoying. So yeah, now I'm back to 5.4. That's kind of really dumb. And I believe that's just for flashing. So even though you could drive in the first person, the fact that you have to cycle through all the others just to get back to this is kind of bad. There is damage to car and there's damage to the environment that exists here. There is damage to car and damage to environment that exists here. So I'll give it a point for that. Damage to your car, damage to the environment, destructible objects, I would call them. So 5.5. I'm gonna look at other things. I'm gonna try again. So far, this seems like just a regular average racing game. Nothing special other than trying to race a game. I'm trying to see what Forza, how this is different from Forza, how this is better than Forza. I doubt it is, but how unique it is than Forza. Look like leisurely time, just trying to, kill the day type of game. I guess one of the reasons why I don't play a lot of racing games because it's just repetition, just doing the same thing over and over and over. Okay. So not much to see here. That's about as average as it gets, I would say. Let's go back to the main menu. Yeah. Don't know how that pans out in the long run. As far as racing games goes, that's pretty much average. So they basically give you the settings. You can change the settings, whatever you want, gears to whatever you want. And then they give you a garage where you can choose from different vehicles that have different speeds and different perks, so you could race against other players. And then they give you an episode, but they only give you one episode on one track, so you could see what you got to do. So for a game that's trying to sell, you know, if this is not free to play, which it isn't, unless I missed something, what they're selling is just racing, nothing special. There's no incentive to do anything other than to control the vehicle. The main objective is to control your vehicle and to control it so good that you could beat other players. Now, as you get into the garage, you'll be able to tweak certain things, which most racing games do. So I don't see anything truly spectacular about this. The only thing that makes sense associated with racing or vehicle games, so that if they want to get better contracts in games that are not associated with racing, they'll at least know how to design the vehicle aspect of that game, so that if there's a chase sequence in a third-person game, the vehicle aspect of that game will be fluid. Because if they're trying to create just the best racing game they possibly can, this is not it based on the demo. You have one episode, you have 3 cars, you look at the settings and the perks, and that's it. And of course, the intro look of the game and the decals are on the side of the vehicle. So the most I would say I could give this game based on its composition of what is given to me is 5.5. So it's stuck in that standard should I buy it or should I not buy it ratio. It doesn't even go to 6. It didn't even break the 6 barrier. I'm looking for other things as well, but online is locked. Settings just give you this subpar. Garage only give you 3 vehicles, and you can look at other fancy vehicles that have better perks, and that's it. You press the options button. All your decals or your color schemes are all manually given to you, so you can't do anything with it. And your episodes, they're all unlocked once you either purchase the game or through beating certain levels. So fast gear seems to be slow gear in my opinion. They didn't even go past the 6 marker in regards to whether the game is good. So yeah, this one didn't even get to 30 minutes. This is like 25 minutes demo of something that's an average racing game at best. The best part of the game was putting to throttle and braking. The whole switching cameras while I'm reversing thing, that was terrible. The ability to not being able to see my controllers and to see how to control the vehicle. You just go in game and then you learn by hand. That's average, but it's very subpar. Your settings is just music and language, and that's it. And of course, choosing to do manual gear or automatic. The garage is just 3 vehicles, and your episode is just 1 location. And that's the game in a nutshell. The best part about this game is the construction of the landscape that you were going through, which I gave a 0.4. And of course, the sculpting of the vehicles themselves. So 5.5 in total. The tracks, what did I think of the track? Well, let me go over the track one more time. Let's go over level 2 tracks and see how level 2 track goes. I don't think I'll make it to level 3 track if level 1 track was that boring. So it's either mechanics of the vehicle themselves or the tracks themselves that's going to be appealing to people. But I don't see how either can be appealing. It's just more curvy, that's all it is. It's more curvy. I'm looking at the buildings in the background, looking at the map. Not even looking at the track, I'm looking at the model of the whole place. Looking at the concrete. I'm looking at the signs, I'm looking at the trees. Model of the world goes by fast, so you cannot really pay attention to you because you're on the track. But from where I'm standing, it doesn't seem to be anything too special. It's average map making of the world. Yeah. Average map mapping of the world with regards to other games. So, nothing special there. Yeah. I would say fast gear is actually slow gear, or average gear. Yes, you're moving fast, and it's a good name. Yes, it's a good name for a game, but it's not a good game from what I'm seeing. The best part of the game is to race. That's it. To race. And if all that is to the game is to race in different curves and how the curve, let's say you go underwater, above water, of what everything is spirals of the different maps, and it might get more intricate. That's only one thing. That might get the game to about a 6 most, but based on the demo itself, it doesn't reach that. I would say, I would give it, to be fair to the game, I'll give it a 5.6 right now with regards to what I've seen in the world, the model design of the world, which is average. So now I'm at a 5.6, but I'm not giving it any more points. This is an average game at best. There's nothing special. I'm thinking maybe the sculpting, maybe the lighting, maybe something that has more meat on it for the reason why, but it doesn't. This vehicle here, this car is in a room with lighting around, but it has no shadows on it. So it's for the budget that the game was probably made on, it's probably fair. But if it doesn't even break the 6 marker, like, and the music and also that's another thing too. The music in this game is extremely loud. For me to actually have a conversation, even though I had turned up my mic, I would have to lower the music down so my voice go over the music of the game. So they overpowered the game with heavy music to entice you into like, this is awesome and stuff, because they didn't put effort into anything else. So the most I could say giving this game is a 5.6. And even if you are not like me, you're into games, racing games, the most I could see you giving this game is an additional 3 more points, for which I'm not going to give it. But giving the game an additional 3 more points just brings it up to like a 5.9. It doesn't even break the 6 marker. Let's say you give it 4.6. Based on the demo, a game being in the 6 is still not a success. It's just getting close to it. But this doesn't break that marker, because I'm not giving it 3 more points. I'm not fully into this type of stuff. So the most I could see someone who's really into racing will give it a 5.9 based on this demo. And that's not good. But I'm giving it a 5.6 out of being fair. I actually want to give it a 5.5, but I'm giving it extra points just to be fair to things that I might not see, I might not be considering. Like the text design. They could have used a different bad text. See, I didn't consider that. The text that I use for words are good. So 5.7, good text for a racing game and something else. So I could see this being like a 5.8, 5.9 at most. But for me, I don't think the text matters. Like, I think if you were to give this Fast Gears any text that's bold in color or bold in shape, it would work for its font. It doesn't have to be these specific texts. So I think I should still keep my 5.6, because if I use any bold font that represents either animated, comic styles, bold, or impact, it will work here. But I'm gonna be fair, I'm gonna give it a 5.7, and I'll say that's the only thing I missed was the text. But it doesn't even matter, 5.7 is still 5.7. It doesn't go past 6, so it doesn't work. Alright, that's it for this. Yeah, I wouldn't buy this. I mean, if this is a purchasable item from a PlayStation store, based on this demo, it's not even worth it. This value, based on what I'm seeing, for what it's giving you: 1 episode, 1 track, no tutorials, settings is subpar, sculpting of vehicles is average at best. No, this is someone trying to make money by doing a little bit of work. Now, if this person is just 1 or 2 people, then that's fair, because it's just 1, 2, or 3 people who created a game, and that's very good if it's just 1, 2, or 3 people. If it's a team of people, then they fucked up, and this is not good at all. Not even worth it. If you're telling me the model designer and the colorist and the UI guy, if you need more than 3 of those people to make a game like this, and I'm not even including the business partner and stuff that to process the game and to make it, produce the game. He's not a factor into development of the game. But if you tell me there's a whole lot more than 3 or 4 people, worked on this game, like say 5, 6, 7 people, I would say to them they took the cheapest route ever, because it seems subpar for a demo. So yeah, that's it for this. Fast. Yeah, I don't even know if I was just about to call it Fast Track. It's called Fast Gear. I even forget part of the name while I'm still playing this video. I'm so disinterested in it because it's not done that well. So yeah, a little bit over 30 minutes, but I wanted to make sure I was being fair towards it, and I am. It's the most you could give this is a 5.9, and that's not enough to purchase a game. If this is anywhere within the $40, $50, $60 marker, it's not worth the buy. If it's in the $20, $30 marker, it's barely scratching the surface. it's worth it if it's in the 20s and 30s. But the moment this hits 40, 50, 60, not worth it.